Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.
A bit. We're back on.
Was that an hour?
Pardon?
Was that an hour, yeah?
Yeah. I told you it's going to go longer than an hour. I told everyone, I said I warned everyone, so you know, I'm prepared for this day.
Gypsy baller, that's why, gypsy baller, man. When I got there, that's when I actually felt like I made it. Yeah, like I was earning good money. They treat you like a proper, like the fans.
They treat you like a professional.
The fans are in love with you. Like, but the thing is, it's really hard because they're so passionate, the fans. Like, there's certain games we had where they're chanting like racist stuff to the opposition team. But we're, mixed race, black, like American.
So how did that make you feel though? Like, even though they were supporting you, but they're saying racist things to the other players, that must put you in a weird predicament because it's like, hold on.
So weird. It's so weird. It's like, because the thing is, right, you know that they're doing it because they're trying to put the opposition off. If they didn't like black people, they wouldn't like us either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it is still a form of racism, you know, even though you don't hate someone, it's what you say, you know. So
it's what you're saying.
Like a lot of our, like, the two Americans didn't like it at all, but I'm just one of these people. I'm like, if I'm in this situation, I'm not going to do, nothing I can do can change it. I'm just going to live with it, sort of thing, you know, like, and it was tough, but, you know, I just got on with it. I'm there to play basketball at the end of the day, and it wasn't that great, to be fair. Like, it was, and you have to speak to these fans after as well, and like, you just like,
it's mad, isn't it? Like you gotta have that conversation with them and say to them, you know, like, it's mad. You gotta pretend that you didn't hear what they said. Not pretend, but it's like,
but
you know what they said.
If you speak to them, they don't even know they're doing anything wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? We're just trying to put them off, and they're just like saying them racial slurs is the same as saying like you're rubbish. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they kind of look at it.
The culture's different.
It's different. It is, man. It is. But so then, like, this is towards the end of my career because I just had my daughter, and like, I come back in the summer, and I wasn't there for her birth because it was like she come early, so I couldn't like jump in the plane and make it. So like, that really affected me that I weren't there for her birth. So when I moved back to London, I got really like comfortable, like, to be able to see my daughter and stuff. And then what I thought was I would sign for a team here up until like just before playoffs, where teams are looking to pick someone up. And I had like 2 teams in Serie A, the top one, that were interested in taking me around that time. So I was like, all right, I'll play BBL and then I'll go back out, and then I could at least spend some time with my daughter and stuff. And I signed for Mersey Tigers, right?
That saga. I'm surprised they didn't stay around longer. They should be. Liverpool's they love basketball over there, man. I don't know why they ain't got a team. That surprises me.
Well, this is what I'm saying. The year before they did the treble, so I was like, this is a good team to go to. So the guy was on my case, like calling me until I signed the paper. and I signed the paper, the contract, and I didn't hear from him. I was calling him, didn't hear from him, and then 2 weeks before the season started, they did
2 weeks. This is the theme. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. They did the press release. Mersey Tigers have folded. So I was.
So why couldn't they just said like before like there's certain things going on? I don't think it's alright to sign right now. Why don't they do that?
And that's how some coaches are. They'll be on your case until something's a bit murky, and then they don't treat you like they're your friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's why I respect coaches like Newbie and Creon, and because they're your friend no matter what. Do you know what I mean?
They'll tell you straight what's going on, man.
Yeah. So
there are I've heard stories of some coaches doing that, just dipping soon as things fold or they owe money. And I'm not saying the names, but I know coaches dip as soon as they owe money or something.
I know a lot. But there was one thing that I never let happen was that someone didn't pay me for what I did for their club. You know what I mean? Like, I never dropped it. Like, some people were like, all right, cool, whatever, let me just move on. I was always like, nah, I want all the money that you owe me, and then I'll move on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have...
And then you got bills to pay, man, and all that, so...
Exactly. I mean. So I was, again, in a situation where... But this time, I'm older. I'm like 30, 31. My knees, I was supposed to stop playing 2 years ago. So I started thinking about, like, what am I going to do after basketball? So I started coaching, and then I signed for Essex Leopards.
Yeah.
And they're really, it's kind of like what Orland's doing now, you know? Like, you kind of get to the point where I'm not chasing stats to get a big contract the next year.
Because Orland's had a good career anyway.
Yeah, it's more about your situation in life, you know? And I knew they're just such a well-run club. They treat you like you're a professional as well, like even though they're D1. And I was good friends with them. And they tried to sign me for like at least 10 years. So I went there. And then again, we had a really good team. We had me. Do you remember Carl Josie?
Yeah. Carl Josie,
Carl Josie. Ishmael was on our team.
Fontaine.
Yeah.
Mr. Fontaine.
2 Americans. We had Lawrence Brown, who was like one of the only 7-foot basketballers at that time. And yeah, it was really good. So we ended up playing, and then we got into the trophy final. And the trophy was the only thing I'd never won. I'd won like 8 trophies in the D1 before, but I never won the trophy, like the NBL trophy. So I was going at it. And Cole and our American had a slow start, but I was going, like, hitting shots. And what's funny is we were playing against Tees Valley Mohawks. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was crazy because I was playing against Dean Hansen, who was Tony Hansen's son. So it was someone that I saw.
I think so, yeah.
And he went off. He had like 30 in the first half. So yeah, it gets towards the end of the game, and we're up by 1. I'm hands down nailed on for MVP because I always loved MVPs. Like I was like, yeah. 4 minutes before the game ended, I was at the top of the key, and I've like ripped through, and I've gone to go. And then I just felt someone just like bam on the back of my heel. So I turned around to the referee. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Why would you step on my heel? And he looked at me. He was like, are you nuts? Like, I wasn't near you. Felt down. Achilles gone. Like, out of the game. And then from there, it was like, yeah, I'm not like trying to force it back and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I was trying to look at after like basketball, my life, and getting into coaching and stuff like that. So yeah, that pretty much, I didn't stop playing, but that ended my career.
So you didn't play at that level no more, so you kind of just feel about recovering, really.
mixed up with my knees as well. I had arthritis in my knees. It was like, I'm not forcing it. And that's that's the advice I give to anyone. Don't force it to be a basketballer just because it's like you're a basketballer. Like, you got to use basketball. Don't let basketball use you.
Because at the end of the day, you're still human at the end of the day. You still have life outside of basketball, man. So you can't really rely on it, man. So I get that, man.
Sure. So that's when, like, I went into, like, the coaching side. And then, sorry, let me just put
Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.